go. Cassie, Luca, welcome back to week 2. Why don't you introduce yourselves to the audience?
Perfect. Hello. Thanks for having us. My name is Cassie Solis. I'm 21 and I'm a student here with Global U.
My name is Luca Williams and I'm 21 and I'm also a student here on the current Bravo class.
And I'm Joshua Owen. I'm one of the co-founders of Global U. And today we got some prompts. So as you would have known from the last episodes, we interviewed both Luca and Cassie separately, just to give you some background story on their lives, why they went on Global U, where they're trying to go. And then this week, we're going to actually talk about like launch month, launch week, launch month, some expectations, some fears coming into it, and then what it was actually like. So Alina Roby did an amazing favor of giving us some show prompts. As you can see below, the topic today is, what were your fears, expectations, anticipations coming into Global U? Yeah, either one of y'all can take it, right? It's a round table discussion. Go for it, Cassie. Come on.
I can go first. So fears, expectations, and anticipations. I think let's start with expectations. I definitely, after being on all the Zoom calls, talking with Josh and some of the other leadership, I knew to expect it to be very difficult. As far as like the workload and the academics side, as far as computer programming and entrepreneurship, I'm not a naturally business-minded person, so I knew that it was going to be a lot of rewiring for my brain, which I was excited about. I was excited for the challenge. I anticipated a lot of learning, which is yes, I anticipated a lot of learning. I feel like that was a fair and accurate anticipation. One of my fears, I think, I feared being inadequate, being super real here, because I am not a naturally business-minded person. I started comparing myself to the other students that showed up on the Zoom calls prior to launch month. And these people had like visions or already started up businesses that they had. And I just felt very, very inadequate compared to them. So yeah, that was one thing that I struggled with coming into Global U, was inadequacy.
Interesting. Luca, did you feel the same thing or did you have a different take on it?
I think I had a similar but varying take on that, because I shared that same idea of like I didn't have an interest in business necessarily. I wasn't very well versed in it by any means. And then also seeing those Zoom calls with people being like, I have my business already built, like I'm just gonna promote it. I'm just like, we were supposed to have this built. But yeah, I feel like I knew it was gonna be difficult coming in, and I knew that it would challenge me in a lot of ways that I wasn't comfortable in being challenged in, but I was going to take the dive anyways. So
do you think that was, how would you think, like for the whole class as a whole, right? So, there's more than just you two guys. Like, what was like the class feel coming in? Were you afraid you're going to be with a bunch of weirdos? Were you afraid that everybody was like, the bar was going to be set too high? Like, what was everybody's kind of anticipation? It is a big leap, right? You're coming in 9 months, you're going to live with this whole class. You want to like them. You already know it's kind of a different type of program. So what were the feels?
I think after talking to a lot of the students here, I think everybody struggled with their own version of inadequacy, whether it be in their faith and spirituality and being like fairly new in their walk with the Lord, or whether it be with computer programming and learning how to code, or the business and entrepreneur side of things. I think everybody had the fear that they just wouldn't measure up to everyone around them. So I would definitely say that was a theme throughout the class.
Sure.
I think another thing that I've noticed in this class is everyone. It was interesting because this program is designed to find. It's designed to grow you, and in doing so, you will grow into different things than everyone around you. And at the beginning, no one really knew each other. We didn't really feel comfortable with each other at all. Especially when we first met each other at the airport, I was like, okay. Um, but I think that it was thus far it's been really interesting seeing people as they grow, but initially none of us were comfortable with each other and none of us were really ready to take up that mantle and to be seen in that aspect or in that manner by any means. Like, if you grow if you grow this much, you will become noticeable and separate from the pack. Are you up for that? And a lot of us weren't.
Yeah, definitely. It's an interesting, I mean, it is an interesting thing, right? So you get to know each other kind of over Skype calls or Zoom calls over the summer. You know a little bit about each other. You're in the Slack channel with each other. Maybe you're looking at each other's Instagrams, Facebooks, and you know what the year's got ahead of you, right? So kind of set expectations like we're gonna be building businesses, we're gonna bring the kingdom of God to earth. You know, Luca, we heard about your story and last week where it's like, okay, like I'm still kind of wrestling with my faith, right? And Cassie, you just came off a trip where it's like full blown missions, and we're moving into like this technical sphere. So there's a lot of kind of anticipation in the group, and then you throw a bunch of other people in the mix. You throw staff in the mix. You throw mentors in the mix, and it's just an interesting blend. So that's what we're going to talk about. So you just heard from Luca and Cassie what the fears and anticipations were like. I'm sure y'all are feeling it back home. Like if you're a prospective student, you're probably feeling some of the same expectation. And in the next episode, which we're about to record, we'll actually say, like, what was that first month like? Were those fears justified? Or those fears they didn't need to have them? So stay tuned to next time. And we're going to share this really cool thing that Caleb Pauls made for us. So shout out to Caleb Pauls if I can do it, which we'll see as we end it. So thank you guys. See you in the next episode.